Your arm snaps. The sound arrives before the pain does. You know immediately. Something inside you has failed. And within minutes, someone is going to wrap it, set it, stabilize it. You will leave with a cast and a prescription. You will heal. That is what you expect. That is the story your body already knows. But that's not quite right. You assume that a broken bone without medicine is a death sentence, or at best a life of permanent damage, a crooked limb, an early grave. But here's what's fascinating. Your ancestors were breaking bones and surviving them for 2 million years before anyone knew what a fracture was. And the evidence they left behind is stranger than any diagnosis. In 2013, Eric Trinkhaus at Washington University in St. Louis published an analysis of Neanderthal skeletal remains that changed how we understand ancient injury. He found evidence of healed fractures across dozens of specimens, femurs, ribs, clavicles, not just healed well enough that individuals survived for years afterward, which means your evolutionary predecessors were not dying from broken bones. They were living through them, immobilized by others, fed, protected. The fracture itself wasn't the threat, isolation was. And for hundreds of thousands of years, your lineage understood that, not as policy, but as instinct. But that's only half the story. Now here's where it gets strange. In 2019, John Shea at Stony Brook University documented patterns of deliberate splinting behavior in populations predating anatomically modern humans by over 300,000 years. Not surgical splinting, functional, bark, reeds, bound with animal sinew. Your ancestors were improvising immobilization before they had language to describe what they were doing. Their hands knew something their minds had no words for. The bone, left still and supported, would knit itself, not perfectly, often with a callus visible on the skeleton to this day, but functional, alive, still there, 300,000 years later, inside a museum case, waiting for someone to look. And here's the part nobody talks about. In 2020, Viviane Slan at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology identified genetic markers in ancient remains suggesting that individuals with severe physical injuries, the kind that would require prolonged recovery, were not abandoned by their groups. They were fed. The chemical signature of their bone collagen showed continued protein intake during healing periods, which means your body's ability to repair itself was never the whole story. The system that kept you alive was always other people. Not medicine, not technology, the willingness to stay. That changes everything we think we know about what it means to survive. And so the question becomes not whether your body can heal without doctors. It demonstrably can. The question is whether the thing that actually kept your ancestors alive, the presence of another person, the decision not to leave, is something we have named, studied, or valued anywhere near as carefully as the bone that broke. Your arm snaps, the sound arrives before the pain does, and somewhere in the 300,000 years between that moment and this one, someone already lived it. Someone stayed. The bone healed, crooked, or clean, or not at all. But they were not alone. That part has always been the medicine.